Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 1 are two different creations.
Okay.
Are you getting?
Yeah.
But what we don't know is that, what most people don't know is that there are two creations. They just see only one creation. They know about only one creation. And so they want to make all the books say the same thing. But the books are not actually say the same thing. In fact, as Christians, we would be intellectually reckless to think that the two books are saying the same things. In fact, if you go and tell an unbeliever that the two books are saying of talking about the same creation, they would say that you are being intellectually dishonest. You get? So I wouldn't say anyone is intellectually dishonest, but then people can be intellectually reckless. And that's why they see that Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 are saying the same thing, even though you can see categorically that they are not saying the same things.
Yeah.
Are you getting? So this one, chapter 2, the one we call chapter 2, is actually the first book that was written, and there it talks about step by step how everything came into being, whether it is plant, whether it is animal. Are you getting? So if we don't see Genesis chapter 1, we would know for a fact that Genesis chapter 2 is the account of life. Are you getting? So because God revealed Genesis chapter 1, which is the plan to create man, a man in the image of God. Do you understand? And so people now just want to, because they don't really understand what the Bible is talking about, so they just want to bamboozle the whole thing and then make it one. No, they're not saying the same thing. They're telling us that there are two creations, two Adams. Are you getting me? One from ground, and the other one we don't know how it was made. And so, but when we now saw him, we knew how it was made. Are you get? So if you imagine that we've not heard about Jesus Christ. Are you getting me? And so all we see is Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. We think they're talking about one person. But now we have seen that there are two creations. Are you getting me? We have seen that the creation from ground, that's a natural creation. And we see another creation that we don't know how. But now when we look at Christ, we see the kind of creation. So this book, this Genesis chapter 2, is just a book that was written. It was an old book too, but not as old as Genesis chapter 2. And so it was a book that God gave them revelation of what He would do because of what has happened. And you guys, so when God said that let us make man in our image, there was already a man, and that's the man in the beginning, the one that is Adam. So there was already a man. However, that man has become something else, and so God had to make a man in the image of God, and that's the new creation that we now see, which is which is what we call Genesis chapter 1. Again, so it's a new creation that is countering the creation that had already been. You get? Okay.